Hello everybody, welcome back to the BSDF1 Podcast. We've just come fresh from Miami. Let's talk about it. Boys, how bad did you find that race in Miami?
I'm still trying to wake up.
Still trying to wake up? Yeah, that's a good one. About you, Leo.
Best race of the season so far, and that says something, doesn't it?
Literally the quote. That's the quote I was waiting for. It is honestly saying something. This season so far, not because we just, aren't big Verstappen fans, big Red Bull fans. It's just bad. The racing's boring. The spectacle is boring. I'm going to get onto the spectacle in a minute, but
it's in my eyes, it literally looks like it's just a load of Imolas put into a season. They're all finding the way that they want to get. That race then sort of settles down and they just stay there. The only bit that changes is pit stops, and if someone gets a lucky dive bomb down the inside.
Yes. Do you know what? Interesting, actually, immediately already. I saw another thing after the race. Karun Chandok with another W, which he said he was advocating for since 2016, was mandatory 3 sets of tyres have to be used in every race. Soft, medium, hard. Good. And he said in his tweet, when the cream will always rise. That will obviously be a thing, but it will be more exciting because, there's going to be more racing.
There's a massive problem when the hards are lasting that long. You know what I mean?
And Verstappen is doing fastest laps on those tyres.
Yeah, was he not on them tyres till like 9 laps to go or something?
It's ridiculous. 40 laps?
Yeah, he's done like 40, 45 laps on them.
It's just
talking about
stupid.
Verstappen. No, 350 kilometers an hour with DRS. Are you silly? Are you stupid? 350 kilometers an hour. How did that make? How?
Done a double overtake in DRS, though.
Yeah, that was the most. You know what? With like Dominic Toretto being there, I thought he went into like the 50th gear and hit NOS.
Yeah, he hit that NOS button again on his DRS.
I was like, the man's using that. He's got NOS in that cut.
Yeah, I said that a couple of weeks ago in Saudi, didn't I? He's got NOS in the car. He's pressed the button.
That was the first time I saw him look like he had it, because he was behind 2 cars and suddenly he was about 4 postcodes in front. I'm going to stop using the postcode joke eventually. But
mate, it was 2 car lengths in front by the time they hit the braking zone.
Yeah, and they shortened the DRS, by the way, to make that not as ridiculous. If that DRS was 100, was it 100 yards or something? It was ridiculous like that. Where imagine if it was that. It literally would be
probably wouldn't even have to open his DRS.
No, and you know what? People would talk about but Mercedes were dominant and boring. But when Mercedes was stuck behind people, they actually had to overtake them, not just drive through them like they've got ghost mode on. Because when you look back at the old Mercedes ones with like the W11, when it was stuck in traffic, literally went nowhere. 2020 Monza is a prime example of that. And then other races like Austria 2020, I can't remember what one it was. Maybe Austria 2019. Yeah, where the Mercedes were literally nowhere. And it was Max followed by Leclerc. But I generally do not see anybody else winning this season.
No, they won't.
I've got a thing of Alonso, but
Alonso might...
determined it's Monaco. But
Alonso might cop a win here, like maybe here and there, like 1 or 2. He might get a win, but other than that, it'll be a Red Bull lockout. The whole season will be a Red Bull lockout.
Yeah, there's no way. That is, and Christian Horner's comment. Unfortunately, JC isn't here for the podcast today, but he's listening in spirit, so we can see him on the chat. Christian Horner's comment about where the rest of the field are, and he's like, "Where is everybody? I can't see all the other teams." There he's in the chat. That's what we were waiting for. We can't say what he said in the chat, listeners. But, what a comment. What a comment that was. Yeah. I was like, there's no shot.
I've never known. This man moaned constantly throughout the Mercedes dominant years. Just moaned saying, something needs to be done. Now he's just winding people up that they're so dominant. And he goes,
do you know what? You're saying that as well. It's an interesting thing you saying that, because if the DTS fans that love Red Bull and Verstappen, because they're the ones that generally do at this point, go back and watch like season 1 and 2, Christian Horner's crying all the time. And now they're like, No, where is everybody? It's like, mate, you're going to get ballast chucked in your car soon.
Those first 2 seasons of the DTS, any tiny little thing that he saw was different on that Mercedes car. It was FIA, check that. FIA, check that.
Yeah. Do you remember when the pink Mercedes rolled out of the garage? He's like, what's that? What's that?
FIA, check that.
Straight up to see Michael Massey at the time. But, oh, goodness me.
Do any of you follow Nick Knowles as well?
Of course we do. Of course we follow Nick Knowles.
Yeah,
he's going off. Oh.
Who doesn't follow Nick Knowles, mate? It's absolutely goated.
Oh, you're right. His tweets
His tweets incredible. Unbelievable.
He's such a anti-Max fan and a proper Lewis stan. It's like it's funny.
I'd personally even say it's just an anti-Red Bull fan.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like Red Bull at all.
Yeah, which is a lot of people because Verstappen got booed on the podium again, and he hasn't even done anything controversial. Yeah. He just dominated a race.
He just got booed.
It's Vettel vibes, and Lewis Hamilton never got booed when he was dominating. Not that I remember.
It's because he wasn't an arsehole when he drove.
Yeah. He pointed at the number 1 when he got out his car.
Oh, that was such a dickhead thing to do. Honestly.
I respect that. I highly respect that.
I respect it. I do respect it, but it was such a dickhead thing to do.
Yeah, but I don't think we can take away from Max. He had a great drive. So I don't think you can take away from it.
100%. But they definitely put him on the better strategy, though.
He showed. I think he made the better strategy for himself. I mean, he was on the worst strategy, right? Like he could have got swarmed.
Those hards were actually like going
better than anybody else's hards because the Red Bull.
Well, they were better than anyone else's hard, yeah. But then again, it's the Red Bull, so any tyre on that car would work better than anyone else's.
It's got all the assists on, right?
Yeah.
It's got all of the assists on you can possibly have. That car. It does everything for you. The tyres never run out.
Nope.
The DRS makes you overtake. Look at you play with 20 AI.
You basically it was Max Verstappen in time trial.
Yeah. Yeah, you literally just drive forever with the same tyre. He could have finished the race on them tyres and still had the fastest lap.
Yep.
Must be like until Hulkenberg had it at some point, which I thought was amazing. As we can talk about, a perfect segue for the race and our review is we watched Lewis Hamilton battling a Haas most of the race.
See, now this is where this is thing I said at the start of this pod before it actually started was
I fished up the gossip.
As Lewis Hamilton turned into the new bias, I'm going to come up new bias. George Russell absolutely sailing away in that car. Why is Lewis in 13th?
Well, he had the issues in qualifying.
Yeah, but he's...
Go
on.
To be fair, he was stuck in that DRS train, and when he got out of it, he finished 6th. So I don't think that was too bad for what was a terrible car.
Too bad.
So. And the beginning of it, he also got sandwiched.
Yes.
Had to back out, which
meant
he couldn't progress anywhere. He needed to get the race start done, and he was like, if I stay it, I'm going to get squeezed.
Yes.
So,
but it does seem to be, at the moment, most races, unless George Russell has an issue.
Can I say it? Let me say it so we can clip it for TikTok. George Russell is better than Lewis Hamilton. Done. Clip it. Fight me.
You knew exactly where I was going with that as well.
Tweet is Leo, what's our Twitter quickly? Shout it out. What's our Twitter, Leo?
BSDF1 Media.
BSDF1 Media, at BSDF1 Media. Fight us there, not me, Leo, because he's the one that does it.
No, please.
George Russell was better than Lewis Hamilton.
Good luck to you if you're fighting Leo on Twitter.
Obviously, I'm joking, but
right, I've got something about this race.
Go on.
Really, so I've seen a lot of people praise it. Like, yes, they're saying, "Oh, it was good because it's got overtakes." I even saw someone say it was an 8 out of 10 race. How they got that from, I don't know. To be fair, there was overtakes, but this is what I'm saying. There's overtakes, but there wasn't battles. Like, you had people diving down inside. Leclerc and Hamilton, for example, they fought into not even fought. Hamilton took them into one corner, and then that was it.
I'll tell you what, I think the only battle I saw that was actually interesting was when Leclerc overtook Hulkenberg, and then Hulkenberg took him back because he went deep into turn one.
It's Magnussen.
Not Hulkenberg. Sorry, Magnussen.
Me and Lou were literally cheering Magnussen the whole way through that. We were like, he's the only guy doing something. He's in a Haas. He's in points. Hulkenberg was somewhere close as well.
Yep.
Mad. Magnussen was like fighting with a Ferrari.
That's the only decent bit of racing I saw on that track.
And the little battle, even though it was literally inevitable, with Perez and Verstappen, where Perez was the only person to try and like put Verstappen on a bad line, and this pissed me off with the race. They just let him drive past. There needs to be a rule. I don't know how they can ever enforce that, but just defend, just for the fans. Alonso, just defend. Don't look. Oh, here comes the Red Bull, and he's in my DRS. That means I'm literally going to be gone now.
Yeah.
You were 20 seconds or 12 seconds in front of the guy behind you. Losing 2 or 3 seconds battling Verstappen for some showmanship weren't going to do you any harm. And I think that's where the race was made bad, is everybody went, right, we're going to do our own race now. So
no one defended.
No one defended at all.
Anyone. No.
Down that back straight, no one defended.
The only one that did was George on Sainz and Lewis on Leclerc. Leclerc defended Lewis, and Lewis went to that really tight line.
Oh yeah, squeezed it up the inside. And
then George Russell just went from there, and he was like, "Whoosh! Blimey! What a great overtake!"
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll, ladies and gentlemen. Love him. But they were the only people. If it weren't for the Mercedes being out of position, well, they're not even out of position.
No, they're not. No. That's the mad thing. They're not even out of position.
But onto another thing of that. This race has got so much garbage to talk about. We're literally on this show today. You're just going to be verbal diarrheaing.
Yep. It's going to be absolute shit talk in Miami.
Yeah, because it was, and I'm not going to get, no, do you know what? Let's put a pin on the racing, because it wasn't all about the racing this weekend, was it? Of course, it was about the drama and the spectacle that Miami, and it isn't America, people. Stop blaming America. Miami is the issue. When has Austin been like this, apart from maybe a cowboy hat and big shack on a car?
No, they had that introduction a couple of years ago. They had that in like 2017, where each driver was introduced, or the teams were introduced. It's all really cringy and false. I don't like it.
It's very cringy, but let them do. I mean, I look at it and I think, do you know what? Is it causing harm? No. Do we have normal races? Yeah, the egos of all the gatekeepers. Yeah. But kind of like what Will Buxton said in a way on a tweet is similar, but not to an extent where they're heroes. Let them have their hero introduction. No, they are heroes, but F1 drivers don't want that, apart from Lewis Hamilton. But let the organizer of the track and who's paying for the Formula One race dictate how they want. That Miami are probably paying what, 40, 50, 60 million just to have that race, more than likely. Let them do what they want. Who cares? Ultimately, when they go back to where are they next? Imola, we're going to get the Italian national anthem, and then we're going to get some racing. Then the Italian national anthem is going to be banging, as it always is. But that we're going to get that then. So we can have a bit of fanfare, because it's not doing any harm.
The bit that I like about the Miami GP, which is off track, this is the transfer they have to get from Parc Fermé to the podiums.
And them little buggies.
And the little buggies, every time they have to drive through the Hard Rock Stadium.
What's great is with that, bouncing on that one, Ryan, is that it makes F1 drivers look like these just unrelatable characters.
Yep.
They're the most... when Verstappen came out and he was like, "It's your world champion," and unfortunately for the Spotify listeners, we won't be able to see this one, but for the YouTube viewers, he walks out like this. Like that. It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Did you see him?
You're not a human being, are you?
Did you see him all in the end at the Max Verstappen's podcast? Basically, this is what I'm going to call that room now. Did you see everyone looking at the shirts and the football helmets to look at them, and they're all like, we ain't got to wear that, have we?
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. But I think ultimately, like I was saying, does the fanfare actually hurt anybody? No. I think it's funny, making a little bit of lightheartedness out of what's usually a very robotic feeling sport.
Yeah.
Where, watching some of them drivers come out, I'm like, just act up a little bit, do a little bit of a thing, It's like, and we get the serious drivers, and they just stand by the thing and they do it. I just thought when we were waiting for our food to cook downstairs, and I said to Lou, I was like, Lou, I've paused it because Will.i.am is conducting an orchestra, and I don't know what the hell's going to go on. I've got to pause this. I was like, I've got to pause this because I don't know what's going to happen. And then it was just the most baffling thing ever for me to see. I'm like, but the F1 drivers, and again, they're just not human being. They just
I didn't
so
actually see the
robotic.
start of it, so
Mate, watch. I don't know where. I was trying to find a picture for the thumbnail from that. I can't find one anywhere really about the start. But you had a rapper who was introducing everybody, and he called Kevin Magnussen "Good Boy Gone Bad." I was in tears. I was like, "What? A good boy gone bad from Sweden?" I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're reading off a script and somebody wrote that down about Kevin Magnussen, and the only thing I could think of is like, suck my balls, mate. I was like, what? It wasn't even him. It's like, I was like, where is that? It's so cringe and ridiculous that you can't help but just love it. I know he's not Swedish after I said it, for goodness sake. But,
I've got something about the start as well. Got something about the
Josh
start.
straight on that. Never let you
Did
slip.
any of you see Jackie Stewart?
Mate.
Oh, what, with Roger Federer?
Brilliant.
Was that one where he hit me?
Yeah.
That was going to be my weekend highlight.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That was... No. Honestly.
I genuinely... We need to just put some respect on that man's name. The fact that Martin Brundle went, I want to talk to him, and Jackie Stewart just went marching over there and was like, mate, this man wants to speak to you. And then he's got the security guards around him going, no, I'll go away. He's like, no, I ain't having it. And just walked straight through.
Just like, no, fuck off.
So it was how he did it. And he looked at Martin. He went, do you want me to get him? I'll go get him. And Martin was like, go on then. Go get him. He was like, I will. I was like, you're not going to put an 83-year-old Scottish bloke, like, he ain't going to listen to you, he's a bloody American bodyguard, like, he ain't going to listen to you. And a 3-time F1 world champion, I can actually, one of the legitimate GOAT scenario conversations, that man is just going wherever he wants to go. Let him do whatever he wants to do. And it was just so funny when he's trying to the security guys are like that, and he's literally grabbing his shoulders. Like, I can imagine him going, "Fuck off, mate." To him.
Brilliant Scottish accent.
He gets an iron brat as well, and
stereotype him.
Yeah, of course. Oh, it was just such a good, like, an event for the start. I have when I first started watching F1, I used to always watch all of the build up. I always try and watch Brundle's grid walk, but because there was just so much wacky nonsense going on, I watched like an hour and a half before the race. It was more exciting than the race.
I think I literally turned the race on at half. Wait, when did the race start? 8:30, wasn't it?
8:30, yeah.
Yeah, I think I turned it on like 25 past.
Petition to be Jackie Stewart to be Martin Brundle's security guard at Vegas.
Yeah,
anyone he wants.
I can't wait for Vegas. Drake's
over there. Go get me Drake.
Do you know what would be my favourite interaction ever? Is because it's in Vegas and there's one man in Vegas who is an incredibly big character who will be there. I want Jackie Stewart to go marching over to Floyd Mayweather and just grab him and be like, you there, don't have a word with Martin Brundle. Imagine it, like Floyd Mayweather looking the most baffled bloke in the world.
Not a clue about what to say.
Yeah, come over here.
Yeah, Josh, please stop.
Never, ever. But you know what? This is a genuine thing, right? No other races can we sit here and no other races can we sit here and laugh about. Like, it's generally a joke. Like, it's actually a joke that you've got this level of the Super Bowl has the halftime show, which is admittedly a little bit cringy in occasions. It's amazing, but a little bit cringy. But
can I just say,
I want them to start opening up Premier League final matches with that level.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd be hilarious.
On the other note, I don't know another race where we can spend like 5 to 10 minutes.
Just Ryan, give me 2 seconds. Leo wouldn't ever watch a Premier League final, I assume. Josh is
Premier League final.
Oh, Leo doesn't even know what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know another race that we can do like 5, 10, 50, however long it's been, just on the build up.
Yes, I want it all the time.
Yeah.
I would imagine like the scenes that's going to be Vegas now.
It's going to be stupid.
They're going to have to top it.
It's going to be stupid.
I reckon they're going to resurrect Michael Jackson to perform at Vegas. That's the only way they can top it.
Michael Jackson.
Or bring him out of hiding. I'm just getting controversial. That's terrible. But yeah, that was a pretty stupid. But yeah, they've got to go proper over the top in Vegas to make this. This is the Miami edition. It's supposed to be chaos.
Josh, right? Stop trying to cover up the fact you said Michael Jackson, mate. Just take the L.
No, that's going to be it. That'll be the W. Like I said, they'll bring him out. They'll get him.
If they do that.
Ever watch Weekend at Bernie's? You know. But
Jesus Christ.
Jokes aside, because it's obviously very clearly a joke. Everybody online. I know there's no sense of humour a lot of the time online. So the highlights of the actual race, I think, like I said, Magnussen doing bits for Haas. Haas were really good runners, I'd say.
Haas were up there, to be fair. They were decent.
Anything to elaborate on that one, right? Or just they were decent, full stop?
I was genuinely thought you just were going to carry on talking after that. So you've absolutely done me there. Anything to elaborate on that? They got points.
They got a point.
Sorry.
They got a point. Okay, they got a point, which is better than most races.
True. Very true. But it's showing that Magnussen is doing really well in that Haas, and it shows that he should never have been kicked out.
No.
Pardon me, in the first place.
Hulkenberg, I'm not sure what he's doing.
He's still doing good.
He has his days.
He has
his moments.
Really weird. He was doing well, and the next thing he ended up 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the pit stops, he went right back into the DRS train as well. That was a downside.
Yeah, he had a not a bad pit stop, but a badly strategized pit stop.
Another highlight of mine before I ask both of your highlights was Pierre Gasly finished in front of Ocon. Yo.
Ocon is just washed.
Ock off.
Both
got points though. That's mega for Alpine.
Yes. Yep.
Pierre Gasly got more than Ocon though.
Yeah, go on. Give me a highlight, one of you. Brian, give me a highlight. What was your highlight of the race?
Magnussen overtake on Leclerc. Like fighting back again.
Yeah, give it a bit of fight. What was I can't remember the last time I saw a Haas battle a Ferrari, if I've ever seen that.
Not sure, but that's why it's my highlight.
Probably would have been the only other time. But even then, Ferrari are up there, so I wouldn't have seen them battling with them. But
that is my highlight for that reason.
Go on, Leo. Give us a highlight.
The race or the whole weekend?
You choose.
Oh.
Is Leclerc washed?
Do you know what? That was going to be a segment. This is a segment.
Oh, I need to stop. I need to stop it.
I'm gonna get my little sheet out.
No. Do you know how much I actually pissed myself when Crofty was like, "Oh, this looks epic," and then he spun that instant.
was amazing. You could not have planned it any better.
Do you know what's funny? I'm watching it, right? I'm watching it with my girlfriend. My girlfriend goes, "Oh, that's quite fast, that is." Next thing you know, he goes, "Yeah, see you later." Slides off.
We all have a story with this one.
Just kept thinking of you, Josh.
Oh, really? Nice.
Gonna do a fastest lap.
Here I go. Pole lap, bang, into a wall. So so we were in Brighton for the whole weekend, right? Me and Lou. And I was sitting in this bar on the front, and it was nice. It was the Saturday evening, which wasn't. If anyone who's just been in the UK just gone this Saturday, it was horrible weather all day long. So we were sitting in the sitting in this bar, and I thought, oh, it's what was it, 9:57? So I thought I've got the last 3 minutes of Q3. I'll bang it up. Lou's gone to get some other drinks. I'll bang this up, see what's happened. I'm like, oh, perfect. Leclerc's just about to go for a. Anyway, I guess I'll close that. And you know what's even funnier is there was a guy sitting like 5 or 6 stools to like the left of me who went, "Fucking hell." And I was like, yep, I think there's another guy there. Oh, so funny.
Apparently, I don't know how true it is, but Charles Leclerc has more crashes this season so far than Mick Schumacher did the whole last year.
Yeah.
Is that a true fact?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Can anyone confirm that? Because I saw it all over Twitter, and obviously
I cannot, but I would not be surprised.
How can you crash in the same place 2 days in a row?
Could you get us that one for me? Production. We have a production team now.
we have a production.
Josh, type in a highlight for the race if you want to. On the back end, and we'll talk about your highlight. Go on.
I've got a quick highlight whilst we're waiting for him. Yep. That switchback Hamilton did on.
Yes.
Who did he do it on? Was it?
Who was it?
Was it Magnussen? I could be wrong.
I think unfortunately it was Magnussen.
Yeah, the switchback. Oh,
yeah, I think.
Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it? It was me. To a T.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I would know. Literally saw watching that, and I was like, if Josh is watching this, he's going to appreciate that to a T.
You definitely turn around. You definitely turn around to Lou and go, "I do that. I do."
I oh no! I actually did as well.
Josh caught slipping in 4K there.
I actually did go to Toulouse. Oh, that's called a cutback, and I do that to the guys all the time. Honestly,
that's funny.
That's amazing. Yep. So I did do that. So we're going to do a little segment here. So. First off, before we start this segment, please, everybody who's listening and watching on all platforms, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for when we upload our next podcast or any other videos that we put up. Ryan made the notification bell noise. Thank you very much. Make sure to follow all of our socials as well, which will be in the description below. Anyway, straight back into this. So, washed or not, that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, I'll be running through the 20 drivers, and we're going to say washed or not. Only a very brief description on why. I'm going to start from let's start from bottom to top, I'd say. Let's start from bottom to top, okay? Because I think the guy at the top of the championship is definitely washed. So, I think we can all agree on this one. Nick De Vries, washed or not? Washed.
Washed.
Oh,
wait, he just forgot to brake and went into the back of Lando, didn't he?
And then he just turned into a wall in the last race and took it out. Has he finished a race? I can't even remember.
Bahrain.
Not a rookie, though.
He's...
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on, Leo. Washed or not?
Yeah, he's washed. Does he last the whole season?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
another conversation. That's another conversation.
That's for a Talking Points video. Logan Sargent, washed or not?
Get in there.
He's a rookie in here, only a couple of races. But
he's getting there.
Benefit of the doubt.
If he's like it next season, washed.
Alexander Albon, washed or not? Not.
No.
Kevin Magnussen, washed or not?
No.
Not.
No.
Yuki Tsunoda, washed or not?
No, he's really impressed me this year.
Yeah,
he's really doing well.
He has stepped up his game, to be fair.
Yeah, very, very impressive. Wanyu Zhou Wanyu, washed or not?
I'm going to say no.
Washed.
Really?
I'm going to say washed.
No, I don't think he's been given the chance yet.
Oscar Piastri, washed or not? Not. He has to drive in a rookie season that absolute garbage car.
All right, let's ask Josh. Let's ask JC.
He's already put in there.
All caps. He had it preloaded.
He has put washed for all the viewers that are watching.
In all caps as well.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Valtteri Bottas, washed or not? Washed.
Washed. Yeah, washed.
Yeah, again now.
And again.
Yeah. Esteban Ocon.
Hey, no.
Oh, wait. Washed or not? Esteban Ocon.
No.
Oh. Yeah, no, he's Okay, Nico Hulkenberg, washed or not?
Okay, we can't say that one.
Nope, that one uncensored. That's suck my balls, mate. That's what
Suck
that one is.
That's a bad boy turned a good boy turned bad boy.
Good boy turned bad. Oh, I can't believe that. I want to find that clip. It's so funny. Yeah, Nico Hulkenberg, not.
No.
He's currently got more points than Haas has had in the last 3 years, and he's in 11th. So,
yeah, no, he's
that's
not.
saying something. Pierre Gasly, washed or not? Not.
No.
Lando Norris, washed or not?
Washed.
Let's ask
Here,
JC.
wait, here it comes. Here it comes, viewers. Hold on. Lando Norris.
Hold on.
Or it's still. Oh, it's going to have to be a long paragraph in what Josh is typing out here. I'd say, there we go. That's what it says. For the listeners, I think you know what JC said if you listened to the podcast before.
Yeah.
You know what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lando Norris, I'd say probably not washed. But I think compared to other seasons,
Washed.
you kind of look at it like it's washed.
Washed this season. Give him the chance next season.
Now, here's an interesting one. Lance Stroll, washed or not? I'm going to go washed.
I'm going washed because he was up there on this race and then he kept losing places. I asked his engineer if he was doing the right lap speed. He said yes, just carry on that lap time.
He's 8th in the standings,
Yeah.
the second fastest car.
He's doing something
Miles
wrong.
above everybody else.
Like, look at where Fernando was compared to where he was at the end of the race.
Yeah.
That was
And I'd say the points
miles.
75 points to 27.
Yeah. It shouldn't be. It's Hamilton bias.
Yeah, exactly. Right, okay. Charles Leclerc, washed or not? Washed.
Washed.
This is this season, remember? This is objectively for this season.
Objectively for this season,
It's not.
washed.
7th in the standings. Oh, that's...
Is that the seat row we crashed into at the weekend?
Yes. Christ, that's 7. Oh, come on. I love that. George Russell, washed or not?
No.
Not, obviously.
No.
Carlos Sainz, washed or not? I'd say not.
I'd say he's
Better than
not.
Leclerc.
Yeah, he's doing better this season.
Greatest
To be
of all
fair.
time.
Greatest of all
Incredible
time.
time, Carlos Sainz actually go. Lewis Hamilton, washed or not? Not.
No.
No.
Just not really given any good treatment whatsoever.
No.
And then the top 3, I think, are not. Fernando Alonso, not.
No.
Washed.
Sergio
Massively
No.
washed.
Yeah, you wish. You wash yourself with him. And then I don't know what that even means.
What?
And then, I don't know. And then Max Verstappen is
Hacker.
Exactly. Using grip hack.
Yep.
Thomas Ronha. Okay, so that is literally
You just had to
F1
get it in there. You just
for
had
the,
to.
thing there. So I think definitely we've determined that all 3 of us are obviously better than some of the F1 drivers at driving cars.
Yes.
It's quite an obvious fact,
Yes.
that one, I would say. So a couple other things that happened during the race which I thought are noteworthy is, I'll get onto that one. I was about to say, I'll get onto that one in a second. Lando Norris nearly hit somebody else crossing the pit lane again.
Yeah.
So another steward was walking over the track, entering the pits, and Lando Norris was about a foot away from taking him out.
Is that how has that happened again? It's an
absolutely
open
no
pit
idea.
lane.
No idea.
Mate, there should be anyone walking around near that. When that happened last weekend, wasn't it? Last time it happened was last weekend. That was stupid. The amount of people that were in
Do you think they've all got a bet on?
Who
Seeing
dies first?
get closest to the car. Yeah.
It was the FIA called their own officials into the stewards room. That's what got me.
That was really good, wasn't it? That was really good. Yeah, we're going to summon ourselves, and we have found that we are not guilty.
Wow. Are you not? I am judge, jury, and executioner.
So the other things are noteworthy is the most money on the planet was in that racetrack, which is quite insane. You had Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk attend the same race, which was pretty insane.
Elon Musk in a Rebel garage.
Yeah, obviously. I wonder what he was.
Yeah, that was probably the highest.
More sandwiches.
More sandwiches. Just getting some info on the catering for SpaceX.
Yeah, that's it. He's getting some of that from Rebel catering.
Imagine if he's trying to hire like Adrian Newey for aerodynamics for his new rockets.
Yep.
What a genius idea.
That would
Why
be.
do my rockets keep exploding? I'll tell you
what, that fin is 5 degrees off.
Yeah, yeah, literally. Oh. But speaking about Finn being 5 degrees off, Mika Hakkinen was walking with Jeff Bezos, and it looked like ESPN said, "Would you rather have 2 F1 World Championships or 127 billion in the bank?" And I was like, I don't know. Let me have a think about that one. But then suddenly I was like, do you know what? It's probably easier. And I thought, actually, in reality, it's easier to get $127 billion than 2 F1 World Championships. Statistically, actually a thing.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, it probably would be.
Yeah. There's less chance of being a Formula 1 driver than winning the lottery, as an example. And then investing that lottery money into companies to make... So there you go. Fact. That's how... You want a red pill, get rich finance bro thing, is win the lottery, invest, and then win a championship in Formula 1.
Fact.
So... That was an interesting thing that happened. Anybody else see some interesting stuff over there? There was plenty of stuff.
There was loads. Loads. It is,
Daniel Ricciardo's still very prominent in the social media, isn't he? I don't know why, but I look.
That's another thing. Sorry, Leo, carry on.
Yeah,
Hang on, right?
I look on Twitter and it's literally every other post just Daniel Ricciardo. I've seen more of Daniel Ricciardo these first 5 races than I have all the last year.
I've seen more of Ricciardo and Verstappen, and he ain't even racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's very much there. And I think the scary thing with that is everyone's like, Perez is so gone. Perez is not slow against Verstappen, and I think it was Martin Brundle or Crofty that said during the race, it was like, for Perez to be on pace with Verstappen is massive.
Yeah.
You know, he was on pace with him. It wasn't like Verstappen was doing a Lewis versus Bottas and being like a second quicker. He was on pace with him, which is saying something. So where's Ricciardo going? He's obviously going in Nick De Vries's seat. That's the obvious thing.
I mean, I don't know.
Mid-season. Yeah.
Mid-season, yes. Nick De Vries. But I don't know, because I can't remember who said it. It was either Ralf Schumacher or...
It's controversial immediately then.
Someone else. But either way, they were saying that basically Sergio Perez won't give a flying fuck this season about Max Verstappen, because the whole of the Max Verstappen side on Red Bull want Sergio Perez out of that seat.
And again, do you know what? The thing is... I don't think they want him out of the seat because they know Verstappen beats him. Perez doesn't beat Verstappen.
Yeah, but you can't tell me there wasn't something going on with that car when Max overtook Sergio this weekend. He went instantly 5 seconds in front of him when he went past.
Well, the bigger thing, the tyres are a very obvious thing.
Obviously, the tyres, yes.
Tyres were so new and medium.
Yeah.
And on a light car at the end of the race.
But that was just insane.
Yeah, the biggest thing, which again we can talk about because Miami, again, just promoting drama. Basically, Perez had no communication with Red Bull.
He didn't know what was going on, did he? That whole race.
No comms. And then Verstappen was literally being babied through the lap. And that was literally, you could hear it on the radio. Verstappen being babied every single second, and then Christian at the end was like, Yeah, well, we told Perez the time. He can do the math and figure it out.
That's what I was just about to say, actually, because he genuinely got told what his time was going to be coming out of the pit stop so he could work out where Max was going to be on track. Why the fuck is he doing that while driving the car?
When they could say to Max,
don't forget what
Max, you're going to be 0.001 seconds behind him now, and you're going to be 0.02 seconds behind him.
And during the same race, Max's engineer said to Max, just focus on driving.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's just, I don't know. Red Bull are doing what Red Bull do best and making everybody not like the sport. What a surprise.
Shafting another driver out of their seat.
I don't know.
But let's be honest. Who on that grid now beats Verstappen in equal machinery? Except for Nico Rosberg.
Lewis Hamilton. Nico Rosberg, if he came back to the sport, definitely.
Did you hear someone said Lando Norris would do it as well? That is a quote off of a post I saw that they said if you put George Russell, Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton in the same car as Max Verstappen, all three of them would beat Max Verstappen.
That's just incorrect on every level.
Yep.
I mean, Verstappen wouldn't have it easy, but I mean, Lando Norris is getting outraced by Oscar Piastri at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's not in the championship.
When I read that, I did have a nice little chuckle to myself.
No, I reckon people who beat Max on the grid this year in the same car, Alonso, I think Leclerc, because Leclerc needs a car that is lit like Vettel, literally built for him, planted as anything. A Ferrari looks like a nightmare to drive. It literally looks like it's bouncing it. And he said actually during the race, it's bouncing.
Yeah, Sainz said that, didn't he?
Yeah. So you've got that. I would say another driver is obviously Lewis and George. And I think they're probably the only people, Alonso, Lewis, George, Leclerc, who would be able to beat. I'm not saying they could beat, because I'm going to appease all of the fans here of no one, is that Verstappen has shown he can beat Lewis Hamilton in a championship fight.
Always got to bring it back, ain't we? Always have to bring it back.
I just wanted one podcast where it didn't get brought up.
Never.
And now we're talking about Abu Dhabi 2021 yet again.
Da, 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 da.
Michael Massey is a twat.
Michael Sassy. But, yeah, so they're the four drivers that I would pin up. Four drivers, that I'd pin up to say they would probably beat him in equal machinery.
Yeah, I think I could agree with that, to be honest.
And I reckon Daniel Ricciardo would probably have a crack if it was, let's say, the same Daniel Ricciardo that was driving the Renault, I think would beat Verstappen.
Yeah, I'd agree on that as well, to be honest. I'd say any Ricciardo, apart from the one that was basically any Ricciardo back from when he was driving Renault backwards.
Yeah, not the McLaren.
Not the McLaren Ricciardo. McLaren did something severely wrong with the Ricciardo there.
You could have just stopped with McLaren did something severely wrong.
Well, yeah.
If that's accurate.
Yeah, McLaren has done something severely wrong. Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, the other things...
I'd go as far as saying Pierre Gasly might have a shot. Oh, Leo's gone.
That's all right, Karen.
Sorry.
It'll be...
Yeah, I'd say even Pierre Gasly might have had a shot on one of his good days.
No, you... No.
On a good day.
No, that is the worst take I've ever heard.
No, I am standing by it.
What?
Don't worry, he's going to say it again because I didn't quite hear him.
Pierre Gasly
complete the take.
Would on a good day, I said, on a good day, have a chance.
Championship.
Have a chance. No. You said race win.
No, I said we said championship, and you just said
say the take. Say the take.
Oh, so this is where we're going now, because I thought Josh said a race win, not a championship. So that's why I said on a good day, Pierre Gasly would beat Max Verstappen at a race. On a good day.
Thank you for watching the BSDF1 podcast.
That's our
Everyone
last
just
ever
turned
show.
off there and then.
Hey, what do people come here for? They come here for stupid takes and
ridiculousness.
Yeah.
I mean, I said that Lewis is going to get P3 in this race.
Yeah, you did. That was a stupid take.
Yeah, you got to throw it in every now and again. A little bit of hope.
And he finished in qualifying 10 places lower than that. Sorry.
You don't win big on the horse that's favoured. You win big on the horse that isn't.
Exactly why I'll put money on Pierre Gasly beating Max Verstappen.
Everybody, it's bad
in one race on a good day.
He got lapped by his own teammate in equal machinery
in one race on a good day.
In multiple races, he had a good day. And he finished sixth.
Did someone just say equal machinery?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Here we go.
It's going.
Okay, moving on.
Quick. Talk about equal machinery.
Anyway,
Nico Rosberg, 7-time world champion.
7-time world champion.
Dacia Sandero.
But there's some of the other stuff that happened during the race. Like I said, there's so much random things that went on. Leo, did you give us a highlight?
Carlos Sainz speeding in the pit lane once again and getting a 5-second penalty for another race.
How? I mean, it worked for him until they looked at the speedometer.
Yeah. But is that every race he's got a penalty now?
I don't know, actually. That's a good one. Here's a question for you both, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question for you both. Does something need to change? Is Formula One and we'll talk about this in depth on another video, but I want to get some takes on the podcast. Is Formula One a different sport than it was 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah.
I'd say 10 years.
Yeah.
Is it a different sport?
Yes, massively.
What do you reckon it is that makes it different than what it used to be? Let's go with Leo, because he's the one with all of that gatekeeper knowledge. As he was 10 years ago, funny enough, he would have been in Spa or Silverstone watching live. Yeah. So go on.
Yes, massively. It's more global. I want to say more global, but I'm going to say that with a pinch of salt. It was global anyway. It's just got a further reach now in those countries. But it's just so not commercialized. I don't know how you describe it, but it's just so. I don't know the word. Not fake, but it's so.
Has it lost its identity?
It's massively, yes.
And what would you say?
It's just so. It's false. That's what I mean. It's so false. That's what I want to say. It feels so false. The drama feels false. The intro with Miami, it's false. It all just seems very false. You've got all this build up. You've got all this hype towards it, and we've probably had one of the worst starts to a Formula One season since. Well, I don't actually know. This is probably the worst start of the season since the hybrid era. Easily.
What are we on this? Is this the 6th race? It isn't it?
Yeah.
Fifth.
Fifth.
Fifth race. So we've had 5 races. We've had only Red Bull win, with no team look like they're even remotely close to it. So the only other season I can think of would have been 2020, where the Mercedes was so powerful. But I'll have a little fact check on my fact sheet that's next to me that I'm typing in. That's not next to me, and I want Ryan to have a little thing on my take of what's Formula One's identity, and is it losing it? Whilst I page up this.
I personally just fully agree with what Leo said. It's just too forced, and everyone has to see the DTS side of it now. Don't get me wrong, it's good. It gets more fans in, but it's then forcing more drama into the paddock, just unnecessary, unneeded drama that's just obviously just not needed there anymore. But it's just it's too much media going on, I think, is what's happening.
Too much media.
Yeah, too much media. I think I can summarise that too.
Do you remember? And I remember before watching, because obviously I knew of Formula One before Drive to Survive, right? I watched it on and off. I didn't watch it religiously like I do now.
Yeah.
But you would never have heard of a Formula One driver doing media things. And I think it had this allure of Formula One drivers. And I think a lot of the F1 drivers now like that. You know, they had media days where they'd sit in front of a bunch of people asking them the same questions. But now their media days are also, we've got to do some TikToks. We've also got to do some YouTube content.
Streaming on
the
Twitch.
F1 channel. Sky Sports want to have a word with you, but they're going to have a word with you on a scooter riding down a hill.
Yeah.
So
that's been happening for a while, but it just seems a bit more, like Ryan said, it seems a bit more media wise. Like it's not just Sky Sports anymore. You've got all these,
I'd say it's
influencers on there, and you've got all these like YouTubers on there and all that, and people who may not have as much knowledge of sport, and you've got all it's so forced. It's so I don't know. Yeah.
Even just expanding on what Leo just said, I'd just say even the drivers are taking it away a bit. I look at like Lando Norris and all them lot. They're streaming now. Like they're going home. They're more like YouTubers and Twitchers than they are a Formula One driver.
Yeah. Yeah, there doesn't seem as much care from the drivers as some of the drivers as you would maybe like, let's say 10 years ago, for example, the last couple of years of the V8 era, all these drivers putting pretty much everything into their driving, trying to make it. Now it kind of seems like, yeah, you got obviously certain drivers doing Twitch streams, all this other stuff, and not really focus. Like, this is why I really like Verstappen. Verstappen reminds me of the old-fashioned kind of driver who is pure racing and nothing else, except for streaming. You know what I mean?
With Verstappen, I don't like his attitude of like he wants to always win, but when he wins, he doesn't like celebrate. Like this raw emotion of celebration doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Where even when Lewis was winning, like, you know, Verstappen's on 38, when Lewis was winning, I don't know, like 103 races. But when Lewis won like let's just pick a random, like the 57th win, which is just 57. Okay, cool. He was celebrating that, like, yes, come on. But Verstappen, when she's like, yeah,
point on my car,
winning, I call that simply lovely.
Yeah.
It's like you're just coming up with some nonsense. Simply lovely. Shut up.
And then if someone else, just put on that, if someone else races him the same as he races other people, he gets really mad and calls him a dickhead.
Do you want a fun fact about that 57th race win?
I love fun facts.
Go on.
It was at the 2017 British Grand Prix.
No, it wasn't.
Do you want to know who attended that Grand Prix?
Wow.
Do you want
that?
Do you want to know who attended that Grand Prix?
Leo, who attended the 2017 British Grand Prix?
Before Drive to Survive.
Before?
Wait.
Who was it, Leo?
This guy
Oh,
right
wow.
here.
No
wasn't.
way.
No way. That's insane.
Oh, I love it.
That's actually Weo. There it is, Josh with the WW League. Weo.
Hi, Leo.
Oh,
that's amazing.
imagine just picking out.
I was going to say, I was actually more impressed that Josh picked 57 and it turned out to be the British Grand Prix.
Not that it's hard, Nash, but that was a 1 in 103 chance that I picked out the one race Leo went to. That Lewis also won. Because you didn't see a Lewis win on the last British Grand Prix, did you, that you went to? The first one.
No, Mark Webber did.
Yeah. So keep you on guard on that one. Here's my fact that I did pull up earlier on. But just quickly finish that bit off was, I want Verstappen to have this just, and of course I'm not telling him to be someone he's not, but it's just very boring. Like when he gets pole, he's like, nice. I got pole. You know, and it's like Lewis would still celebrate, like, yes, come on, guys, yes. But Verstappen was like, haha, I'm so fast.
Yeah,
it's like, man, Lou.
Well, I mean, he's
really fast. Join McLaren and be fast.
I mean,
if you win in the McLaren, then you've done it.
He has stated that he potentially might be a bit bored because he keeps saying all this stuff, and you see it from his fans.
Leave then.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I can keep going. I don't know, you know.
Yeah, but he said he was. Yeah, but he said he was going to leave, and F1 turned around and told him to pack his stuff up and go. Then.
Have you seen what JC just said? Who else won in the McLaren? Team LH.
So true though, but there's a lot that can be said about that. So, saying a lot about that, is this little statistic. And I mean, I'll come into the end of the show, so I'll wrap up, but there was just so much to talk about with this one. We don't mind overrunning a little bit, maybe. But, 2020, which was probably the most dominant season, I would have said, for Mercedes, because they basically didn't have any other challenge. 2019 had different race winners. I mean, Seb only won one, but you would have one Red Bull driver, 2 Ferrari drivers, 2 Mercedes drivers, where this one was probably the most dominant. And even then, you had, within the first 5 races, there was 3 winners. One of them was Verstappen, 3 of them were Lewis, and 1 was Bottas. And then the other race winners in that season were Pierre Gasly for AlphaTauri, obviously, and then Sergio Perez, which should have been George Russell, but it was Sergio Perez. So even in that dominating season, it was only 16 races, and we still had 2 true brand new race winners, which could still happen this season, you don't know. But that Red Bull looks so absolutely untouchable.
Unless them 2 Red Bulls get crashed out at the beginning of the race and they don't race during the race, there's not going to be a different winner.
Yeah. And the only other person that looks like they're on the chance to win something is Alonso.
Yeah.
Who I can't wait to see Alonso.
And he was
but he's won them.
Still 12 seconds behind.
Mm-hmm. And do you know what annoys me? I think that they should have a little system where you can, certain like aerodynamics people, like Adrian Newey's been at Red Bull now for well too long. Go and fix Williams. Go fix Haas. Stop playing at the front. Go fix another team. Like if Adrian Newey went and suddenly joined Haas, and Haas were then like a top 3 team, it's clearly Adrian Newey. Yeah. And if Red Bull suddenly fell off, but I think Red Bull's team dynamic, to give them credit, is incredible within the team. From a lot of people who I've heard, I haven't spoken to, but I've seen them talk about it. They're ex-Red Bull employees, or have said stuff about Red Bull before. So the internal Red Bull is a very good workplace, to where some of the other ones aren't as much. Where the culture there is a lot nicer, a lot more welcoming. But I think that has testament, because when have Red Bull ever been worse than since they've been a proper team? When they, discredit the first couple of years that they started back in the early 2000s. When have they ever been less than a top 5 team? Never. And the same as Mercedes, they are always there.
But
bad for them.
Scraping into it this year, but
you look at teams like Haas, like Williams, like McLaren, like Ferrari, have all plummeted. Yeah. Where these guys just seem to remain at that high level for so long, operating at this ridiculous capacity, to where, for some reason, Williams, which should, is the second most, I think, or is it McLaren? I can't remember what one's the second most successful team in Formula One history, are like nowhere near that.
Mm-mm.
Like they haven't been able to get to a championship like battle since Jacques Villeneuve, 1997. McLaren's last championship was Lewis, but that was hard fought and nearly lost if it wasn't for a slippery tyre. And then their last championship would have been Hakkinen, like 99. So what are these giants? I mean, even Ferrari in 2007. What are they doing? These giants should not be struggling, but Red Bull, Mercedes make them look like amateurs. It's unreal. And what's your takes on that, quickly?
They've got something right. That's all I can do, is they've got something right.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think there's anything else on it. It's just they've found the way to go, and they've stuck with that way. I think all the other teams have tried to change too much too soon.
Yeah.
And they haven't had enough on it.
What about yourself, Leo, before we wrap up?
Formula 1 has changed, and Williams and McLaren got left behind. The only ones who didn't, only heritage team that didn't, was Ferrari, and even they have kind of mostly struggled. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Very, very interesting. I think there's a lot to talk about that. So again, we'll probably be doing this in another video. Talk about loads of interesting stuff. Anyway, listeners, I hope you've enjoyed the podcast today. A bit more of a rambly format about the absolute chaos that this weekend, I'd say, probably was. it was Miami, as it always is. Cringe, chaos, and nonsense. So, next one is Imola. We'll see you. It is Imola, yes. So we'll see you after that probably boring race.
Well, it's not probably the boring race.
The boring race. But Alonso's going to win it.
Oh.
Everybody, we'll see you in the next episode. Take care and hope you've enjoyed. See you in the next time. Bye.